And I talked to his coach from Overbay MMA, and he said this guy's a natural-born killer. Maybe we have the next Carlos Condit in there.
You know, that's the thing about it. Some guys possess such a natural athletic gift that they develop very quickly. You know, they catch on to the training very easily, and, you know, they can end up having very, very solid careers, even though they haven't been in mixed martial arts very long.
Right, and he might be new to mixed martial arts, but not new to combat sports. He says he has a boxing background and predicts that he is going to move up to 1-0 here tonight with a knockout.
With a knockout. Calling his home run shot, huh?
It's funny because you talk to guys and you ask them for a prediction, and most of them say, I'm going to win, which of course you hope they predict that they're going to win, but very rarely do you get a guy that will go out there and say, I'm going to knock out, especially young guys.
That takes moxie, you know, that takes a pair to tell you exactly how he's going to win. So he's obviously confident in his hands. You know, he's no stranger to combat sports. And, you know, if his coaches are putting him in after a month of training, I'm interested to see what he can do.
Nick Hahn will bring out his opponent.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome his opponent out of the blue corner, Daniel Bays.
Daniel Bays, just 19 years old, also making his mixed martial arts debut here. Trains with Robert Walker here out of Dayton. And I don't know how long people have been around, but Robert Walker, a really well-known guy in the Muay Thai kickboxing scene. And Daniel Bays actually has a kickboxing fight before he took an MMA fight, so might be first-time cage jitters, but he has that experience in the combat sports.
Yeah, see, that's the interesting thing is about guys like these. You know, you have one with a boxing background, one with a kickboxing background. They've obviously, you know, been in combat sports for a while, so the transition to mixed martial arts, even if it is their debut fight, is not as rough as it is for somebody who's never been in those situations. You know, guys who have wrestled in high school and college and things like that have even had harder transitions than boxers and kickboxers because of, you know, the striking aspect of things.
Right, and you go and, like we said, we talk to guys before the fights, and sometimes you see a guy that's a debut fighter will be shaking and nervous. Neither one of these guys seem that way.
Yeah.
At least to me. I mean, I'm sure on the inside it could have been a different story, but both of these guys seem to be pretty cool, calm, and collected.
They
heading
both
into
look
this debut fight.
extremely ready. Both of these guys look like they are ready to go.
And Nick Hahn will give us the official introductions.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this fight is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the IT Fight Series lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a boxer in his first career MMA fight. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing at 155 pounds. Fighting out of Sydney, Ohio, Gary Drew. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, stands a Muay Thai fighter in his first career MMA fight. He stands 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 153 pounds. Fighting out of Walker, Muay Thai, Daniel Bays. Only action begins, your referee is Jerry Poe.
We have lightweights here, debut action, IT Fight Series 38. Gary Drew in the white, Daniel Bays in the camo,
A boxer
Jerry Poe.
and a Muay Thai fighter. This will be interesting.
This should be an interesting striking battle. We always say wrestler versus striker is interesting, but different styles of striking, where boxer you're going to mostly throw hands, but the Muay Thai, you're going to look for him to maybe look for the clinch and throw some knees.
I think Drew's got a bigger physique. He's a little bit taller as well.
Comes out in the southpaw stance here.
Yes, he does.
Outside leg kick.
Ooh,
Both guys throwing
big
big
right hand.
body kick there lands from Daniel Bays against his southpaw. And also the other interesting part of the striking battle, you have an orthodox fighter against a southpaw. So
Gary Drew's got to be very careful. Every time that Daniel Bays is throwing those low leg kicks, he's dropping his hands trying to catch him, and that could play very badly for him.
I did notice that too. Now Daniel Bays with the clinch up against the cage. Now looking for the takedown, single leg. Looks to elevate here against Gary Drew. Gets the takedown. And Drew immediately looking to get back to his feet, and he's already back on his feet. Bays has control of his neck.
They actually both have each other in the overhook on the neck.
Good body pressure here for Bays up against the cage. Gary Drew.
Ooh.
Drew looking to separate.
Drew has got to get his hands up when he's exiting like that, or he's going to end up catching one.
Yeah, he seems to have a lot of confidence in his hands, but we've seen that before and guys get knocked out.
Absolutely.
Nice little jab there.
Nice little combination by Bays walking in.
And the interesting thing is you see Drew really is throwing one shot here, whereas Bays is throwing combinations.
Yeah, which is kind of odd considering, you know, Drew is coming in as the boxer. You would think the boxer would be throwing a little bit more.
And Drew absolutely leaving his chin exposed there, gets flipped a couple of times. I saw a left hand that landed and a right hand, now looking for a double leg takedown against the cage.
Bays is definitely keeping the pressure on him here. He is keeping the pressure on him, taking the fight to the boxer.
Take it easy, Daniel. Keep his legs tied up, Daniel.
You see Daniel Bays breathing heavily there, has Gary Drew in the corner here in round one here. Lightweight action, IT Fight Series 38.
He's got a good leg lace. He's got Drew pretty much stuck in that corner right now, but he's going to have to improve his position.
There you go. There you go.
Looking to try to walk up, and if he walks up here and can get his head out, he'll have full mount.
Yes, he will.
Wiggle your shoulder. Yank out, yank out.
And this is a good way, I always say a good way to get mounted by grabbing a guy's head if he's not in your guard. Regains half guard there by Gary Drew.
Pin him against the cage.
Body, head.
Pin his head against the cage.
Bays keeping the pressure on him.
Keep working. Don't worry
he's
about
staying busy.
Just keep him pinned. Keep popping
And you
that
hear
ball. Work his
Daniel
body.
Bays' corner, Robert Walker. 10 seconds left to go, but absolutely screaming, keep him pinned against the cage. And that's exactly what Daniel Bays has done here for about the last minute of this fight and winning this round.
Yes, definitely. I think with the two takedowns and, you know, landing some pretty decent strikes in control, he definitely took this round.
Good back and forth action, as we mentioned. There are two guys who seem to be a little bit more composed. You don't usually expect a quick finish between a couple of guys who are a little bit more experienced and relaxed going in there.
Right.
Don't have as big of an adrenaline dump. But as you mentioned, great action in the first round.
Absolutely.
Both guys landed shots.
A little bit back and forth there all the way through, with the exception of the two takedowns and the control that Bays landed towards the end. So I think that kind of gives him the edge on that round. But so far, some good action between two debut fighters.
That's what IT Fight Series is trying to bring here, the next generation of fighters. And these are two guys who have experience in other combat sports and made their way into mixed martial arts because of the popularity of the sport. Really is the biggest combat sport in the world right now.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's, you know, I think the only two sports out there that have maybe a larger fan base, as I've been told, is World Cup soccer and NFL football. You know, outside of that, you know, the ultimate fighting, the cage fighting sport, you know,
it is definitely a worldwide sport at this point.
Absolutely.
Seconds are out, and we are about ready to go here for the second round. Jerry Poe is your ref. Gary Drew, Daniel Bays, lightweights here, IT Fight Series 38, round number 2.
Drew's mouth is a little bit open. He's breathing kind of heavy.
And he also is not tucking that chin. He has his chin straight up in the air.
Yep. Daniel Bays still looks like he's the fresher man.
And Drew throwing some big bombs here. Nothing really seeming to land flush. Bays looking for another takedown. Good hips here by Gary Drew. Nice little sprawl, but man, Bays relentless with that takedown, and actually already in side control here as he finished that takedown.
He might be in a little bit of, looked like he was in a little bit of trouble there for a second. His face is starting to turn a little red because Drew had that guillotine, single-arm guillotine, even though he was in side control.
And I don't think I've ever seen a guillotine finished from a guy.
I cannot say that I have either. I cannot say that I have either. Half guard maybe, but I don't think he's going to get it from side control. That would take some really incredible arm strength.
Doesn't mean that it's still not uncomfortable, though.
Oh, yeah.
Bays looking to throw some shots to the head of Gary Drew, and Drew really not looking to do much of anything. He needs to shrimp out here. He's not. He just really is just trying to control and maybe look for a stand-up here from the ref.
And now he's getting that crossface across Drew's chin, trying to get his head free, and does. And now he's taking his back.
There you go. As soon as Daniel Bays popped his head free, Gary Drew
trying to sink in the rear naked.
He has one hook in, it looks like.
He's got a side mount. There he is. Side mount position. He took the rear naked and gets the victory.
I couldn't tell if it was completely under the chin, maybe more of a neck crank, but nevertheless gets the tap here.
Absolutely.
Daniel Bays, an impressive performance. The Muay Thai fighter getting the submission win over Gary Drew.
What I think was really impressive is, you know, these, as we said before, these are two debut fighters, and neither one of them looked like they had a bit of nerves. You know, they came out there, they did their business. Bays, though, absolutely relentless on Drew and comes away with that rear naked choke victory.
We'll get the official word here momentarily from our ring announcer, Nick Hahn. A couple of great fights here already to start out IT Fight Series 38.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the referee has called a stop to this contest at 1 minute 26 seconds in round number 2, declaring your winner by tap out due to a rear naked choke,